Good morning everyone, Kate here from Faith, Hope and Laundry. I hope you're doing really well. It's a beautiful autumn morning here in New Zealand. It's Saturday morning and by the time you see this video it is actually Easter weekend. So today I'm just going to be doing some Easter baking with you. Myself and my 3 teenagers, we are going to an Easter youth camp this year. And there's going to be about 4,000 teenagers there, which is going to be a bit full on, but I'm really excited about that. I'm going as like a worker really, so just going to be given lots of random jobs and things to help out with. It's going to be quite exhausting but really fun. So I need to do some baking to take to this camp. So I'm just going to get a little bit ahead of myself here and get something into the freezer. So I'm going to do 3 recipes today. 2 of them are baked recipes, so a cookie, Easter cookie, and then a Easter brownie. And then I'm going to be doing an Easter rice bubble nest, it's called, which is really cute, and it's just got some little Easter eggs in it. So I've bought lots and lots of chocolate. If you want to do some Easter baking this year that is not sugar heavy, then these recipes are not going to be for you, but I will obviously link them below, and you can check them out and yeah, maybe try them yourself over the Easter break. So let's get into this baking. So I'm going to get started with the cookies first because they need to chill in the fridge for about half an hour to an hour. So I need to melt some butter first. I've just got like a vegan butter because not all of my family tolerates dairy butter, so you can use whatever butter of your choice. I'm going to double this mixture so that I have plenty of cookies to take to camp with us. So we'll just get this into the microwave and melt that up. So this recipe is all done on weight measurements, so I've obviously just needing to use my scale here, and I'll just zero it out between all of the ingredients. So I am putting in the melted butter, brown sugar. I'm doubling this, so I'm putting 200 grams of that in. And the white sugar. Vanilla essence, a couple of teaspoons of that. I'll just eyeball that. And then the eggs, so 2 eggs. And I'm just going to whisk this until it is nice and smooth. You could use a hand whisk or an electric whisk, either of those would be fine. So I'm only whisking it until smooth. It doesn't have to be creamed or, you know, go like a pale colour or anything like that. The dry ingredients get sifted in, and these are ingredients that most of us will have in our cupboards. Flour, salt, baking soda and corn flour. The corn flour is meant to help make them a chewy consistency and add lightness to the cookie. And then just fold all of this together, making sure not to overmix it. So the chocolate I'm going to add to my cookies are these M&Ms, cookie dough M&Ms. So I've got a couple of bags of those. And then I'm also just going to pop in some milk chocolate drops just to bump up the chocolate a little bit. Half a bag of these. Give that a mix and see what that looks like. So I'm now going to just cover this and put it in the fridge to chill for about half an hour to an hour. So just moving on with our brownie now while the cookie dough is in the fridge just resting and firming up. I'm just going to pop my oven onto fan bake 160 degrees Celsius. And then on the stove here, I'm just going to get a double boiler situation going on so that I can melt the chocolate and the butter together without burning it. So this is starting to steam nicely, so I'm going to pop my bowl on there, and then the steam from the bottom is obviously going to just melt all of this. I've got a mixture of coconut oil and butter here, 200 grams, and then I'm just going to pop 200 grams of chocolate in there to melt. So as you can see, this method just melts all of this really gently. You could do it in the microwave and just heat it in bursts of, you know, a few seconds at a time, but you're much more likely to end up with burnt chocolate if you do it in the microwave. This is a much more gentler way of melting chocolate. So I'm actually just going to turn that off now because the heat that's still coming up there is going to melt the rest of that coconut oil that's still there to go, just those pieces there. So I've got my chocolate and butter mixture just cooling here, and while I am letting that cool, I'm going to whisk together with my electric beater the eggs and the sugar. So I've got 3 eggs here, large eggs. Oh, that was a double yolk of that one. And I'm just going to whisk this until it's pale. It's double the volume of what it is now, and it's almost gone like a moussey type mixture. So that's going to be for a good few minutes. You want to make sure that it really gets very pale and double in size. So you can see here it's gone this lovely sort of golden pale colour. It definitely has doubled in size of what was originally there, and it's gone, you know, like almost like an icing consistency or a mousse consistency is what we are trying to achieve here. So that looks pretty good to me. While the chocolate butter mixture continues to cool, I'm going to prepare the Easter chocolate additions. These M&Ms were quite difficult to cut with a knife, so I ended up squishing them with a potato masher, and that worked quite well. Really, you could add any Easter chocolate of your choice. I've got some small praline eggs here as well, but you could add cream eggs, marshmallow eggs, caramel eggs would be super yummy as well. This mixture has cooled nicely now, so I'm going to pour this into my egg and sugar mixture, and I'm just going to fold it really carefully together so that we don't knock the air out of the egg and sugar mixture. We're just going to sift a little bit of cocoa powder and flour into here. The sifting of the flour and cocoa powder is just going to obviously get more aeration into the mixture. And then just folding this again to make sure that I'm not knocking all of that beautiful fluffiness and air out of the brownie mixture. So now we get to the fun part. I'm going to just reserve a little bit of this mixture here to sprinkle onto the top at the end. And then the rest of this is going to go into our mixture. And this as well. Give that a light mix. This is about 9 by 9 inch pan, just with some parchment paper into it. And then our lovely mixture is going to go into there.
Now I'm just going to decorate the top of the brownie with the reserved chocolate that I had put aside, and I also remembered that I had picked up a packet of fun sprinkles which had different coloured hearts and butterflies and other coloured shapes in there. They just gave a little more colour and interest to the top of the brownie.
And this is going into the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. My cookie dough mixture has been chilling for a good hour now, so I'm going to start rolling this and get it into the oven because I've only got one baking tray. It's going to take me a while to cook all of these. So I'm just going to roll about a couple of tablespoons, it says, of the mixture into a ball and pop it on here. I'm not sure how much these are going to spread, so I won't pop them too close together. Those look like they are done. They've been in there for about 12 or 13 minutes now. So these look good size. They have spread out a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to pop these onto the cooling rack so I can use this tray again to get another load into the oven. This brownie is definitely done now. I've just poked it with a metal stick and it's come out clean. So look how lovely that looks. Really happy with that. This next recipe is quite fun. It's using Mars bars and rice snaps as the main components. So they are rice bubble nests we're going to be making. So I've just got some butter melting in here, and then I'm going to chop these Mars bars up, and they are going to go into the heated pan. I'll just get that on a low heat. And it's all just going to melt together. So this is really the only sort of cooking part of this particular recipe, and the rest of it is going to be done in the fridge to actually set the rice bubble nests. If you can't find an actual Mars bar to use in this recipe, then any kind of bar that's got like a nougat, caramel sort of chocolate component to it will be fine as a substitute. So this has pretty much gone all gooey now. The the nougat is still melting and quite soft, so I think we're probably ready to put the rice bubbles in. So we're going in with 3 cups of rices. And we'll just give that a good stir. So this mixture now, this rice bubble mixture, it should make, according to the recipe, 10 nests. I'm just going to get my little patty tins here.
So I actually ended up with enough mixture for 12 nests. Obviously, depending on how big your muffin tin is, will determine how many nests you can fill. The rice bubble mixture just gets pressed into the tins and then pressed a little up the sides as well. So you end up with a shallow hollow, just like a bird's nest. The mixture does harden up very well in the fridge, so you don't really need the muffin papers around them. But if you didn't use the muffin papers, then you would need to grease the tin or spray with, a spray oil very well to stop it all from sticking. This recipe reminds me of my childhood birthday parties when my mum used to make chocolate rice crackle slice, or there was also another recipe which used rice bubbles and it had butter and honey or golden syrup, I think, in the mixture. So, yes, making these is quite nostalgic for me. And then to finish them off, I have some praline chocolate eggs and some of those small speckled eggs to fill the nests with. You can get creative here and fill the nests with your choice of chocolate or lollies. If you fill the nests while the rice bubble mixture is still slightly sticky and tacky, then the eggs will mostly stay in the nest and not roll out. Once you have filled them, then they just go into the fridge to set and harden. This is a really super easy and quick recipe that would be really fun to do with the kids over Easter. So I got about 30 cookies from this cookie mixture. I think I probably made them a little bigger than I was meant to, but they will still get eaten for sure. The brownie is the gooeyest, most true to how a brownie recipe should be that I have ever made. You can see how rich and moist it looks. It has the crackled top to it that a brownie is meant to have. I will definitely be making this recipe again if I'm making brownie. And the egg nests were just something fun and different to make to what I would normally do. So I enjoyed having them as part of my Easter baking this year.
So here are my Easter treats that we have baked today. I've got these yummy cookies with the colourful M&Ms in them and chocolate chips. And then this brownie is absolutely divine. It is incredibly gooey and moist, and I think that one will go down a treat. And then these cute little Easter egg nests that we've made as well. I'm not too sure whether these will actually make it to the camp, but we'll see. But yeah, they were all really, really easy to make, and I'm sure they will be enjoyed at Easter camp by all of the teenagers there. So I'm just wishing you a super blessed Easter. I hope you have some time to just enjoy the Easter long weekend and relax and just spend some quality time with your families. And I will see you in my next video. Happy Easter, everyone. Bye.